Hello everyone, in this video we are going to cover the rules in detail related to all the game elements as well as our robot starting area and how the participants can, what are the rules and regulations in detail related to the starting area and the game missions. Let's start with our launch area. I have already explained about the points, the starting positions of all the game missions that we have. Right now, let's talk about our starting position for the robot. Now, as you can see, this black border line, this is your starting area, but that drags towards the back, which is south of your mat till here. Now, if your robot is inside this area, then it is okay. If the robot is touching outside, it is not considered as in and you won't be able to run. Apart from that, let's say if the robot goes out and if you expand something, that's allowed. But if it is inside the launch area, it has to be completely in. Now, on top of this, we are also going to measure the robot design with the help of our transparent box, which is 25 by 25 by 25. If your robot is completely in, then it is good. But let's say if it is touching somewhere, then we will ask the team to change their attachments and make sure it is completely inside the size. This year we have two types of runs. One is autonomous run and another one is a non-autonomous run. In autonomous run, you will get 40 points as a bonus point if your run is autonomous, which means that no human intervention should be there. For example, let's say if I start the robot and if the robot goes forward and if I take one of the game element and place them like this and then my robot turns back and come over here, grab this thing and place it. This is called human intervention where we are providing the game elements. So this is not allowed. This team will not be qualified for the 40 bonus points. Now, rule number 2. Whatever we want the game elements to place it on top of any game elements, what we can do is we can place on top of this, do whatever we want before pressing the button. So let's say I will place my bat house, I'll place my bear protection and I'll press the button. Once I press it and then I cannot touch the table, not the robot, no game elements or any mission models. I have to step aside. If a team continues to touch anything, like for example, let's say mat or game pieces, they will get a warning. And if they continue to do that, then it can lead to some penalties or some disqualification. For the autonomous run will end in certain conditions. For example, let's say when the robot starts and if a team says stop or touches the robot and stop the robot, this is one of the conditions where the judge can stop the timer and the robot is done. Let's say if the robot is working but the 2 minute is done, you have reached your time limit. In that case also the run is done. Now let's talk about our non-autonomous run. In non-autonomous, again, you will press the button and you will start your robot. But now, let's say the robot goes out. You can touch the robot, but you will get penalties if it is outside the launch area. But let's say the robot return back to the launch area in a way that both the wheels are completely inside the launch area. Then you can grab your robot and change the attachment and run it again. But let's say in this condition, where it is partially in, it is not completely in, that's why you will get penalties. But if it is over here, if whatever is touching the area like two wheels and the caster wheel is inside the launch area, you can grab your robot, change your attachment and run it again. In this case, you can also feed whatever game elements you want to your robot. There is one more rule for non-autonomous run. Let's say your robot grabbed this bear protection and it went outside. But in this condition, something went wrong and your robot dropped the thing, and let's say if your team decides to touch the robot, they will get the penalties, but also along with the robot, they can also grab the game element that they placed in the beginning and bring it back and rerun it. Similar to autonomous run, even in non-autonomous run, as soon as your timer reaches 2 minutes, the run will be done. Or if the participant says stop, the run will be done.
Hello guys, today we are going to talk about mission 1, honey harvest. Honey harvest setup is going to be right here along this black line, inside of the black line, right here, okay? And then the tray is going to get inserted inside here. And then this loop cannot be like this or cannot be like this. It has to be straight to the point facing black line right here. Okay? Your robot will come in and it will take the tray out. Once you take the tray out, you have some sort of points, about 10 points for taking the tray out. And then the robot needs to take the tray and it needs to drop it inside the starting position. Okay, let's talk about the starting position right here. So the tray needs to be fully inside to be considered a full point. If it is touching any of the black lines border area, it will still be considered fully in. But if it is touching outside, something like this or something like this, it's going to be a partial point. The loop doesn't consider. So if it is like this, it's no point because the loops is in the air, so it doesn't consider. But if it is like this, it's considered partial points. So I have seen some teams taking the entire honey with the tray right here and then using their hand to take the tray out. This is completely illegal. You get 0 points because the tray is not part of the launch missions. For example, like the bat or the deer, it's not part of that. If you touch the tray during your run, you'll get 0 points. So you cannot take the tray out using your hand like this. Okay, let's talk about mission 2, bat house. Bat house needs to be aligned from this black line right here, and then blue indicator needs to be pointed toward this black line going here. Okay, and the flag needs to be upright position when the starting of the match. The handle or the branch needs to be aligned with this black line going here. So you make sure you're on top and aligning it. The mission starts when you take the bat, obviously with the robot, and then hang the bat on the branch. Once bat is on the branch, you have to drop the flag to get full points. It doesn't matter if you spin the bat house and drop the flag, or you don't have to spin it. If the robot hits and drops the flag, you still get full points. But you must have the bat on top of the branch in order to get the flag points. If the bat is not on the branch and if you drop the flag, you don't get any points for it. So the bat needs to be on top of the branch. That's the only way you can get full points for bat plus the flag. Also, if by any time during the match, if the bat house breaks and it drops, you don't get any points for the mission, entire mission. All right, let's talk about mission 3, Animal Crossing. So Animal Crossing, the bridges needs to be completely starting. If you look at it, the green base, the green line, it needs to be inside the green line, and it needs to align with this black line right here. If you see on this bridge as well, it is aligned on this side of the black line, going from here all the way to the end. And the bridge needs to be upright position starting of the match. The points you will get to drop the bridge, each bridge you drop, you get 10 points. But there's a bonus of 10 points if both bridges are dropped. So a total of 30 points together. Again, it's an Animal Crossing, so animal needs to be on top. So you have 2 deers. Both deers needs to be on top of the bridge to be considered full points. It can be together. If team wants to put them together, that's fine as well. Both deer can be here, 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 here. To summarize the point, you get 10 points for dropping one bridge, 10 points for dropping the second bridge, so that's 20. If you drop both bridges, you get another 10 points, so bonus of 10 points, that becomes 30 for the bridges, and then each deer will get 15 points each, so 15, 15. All right, let's talk about mission 4, bear protection. Okay, so blue tie down right here. The robot comes in, it drops the blue tie down on top of this, obviously. It can be flipped, can be dropped like this for full points. if it is like this, you still get full points. But if it is somehow touching the mat at the end of the mission, wow. If it's touching the mat, something like this, or something like this, you get partial points. That's 15 partial points. But the beehive needs to remain inside the black lines. The square, red square, it needs to remain inside to get full points. If it is outside, you don't get any points for it. Okay, that's 0 points, full points. Full points. All right, let's talk about mission 5. Mission 5 is about litter cleanup. As you can see, I have randomization of yellow and green litter. So if you look at your manual, there are 3 different places the litter can be found, and litter can be randomized at the starting of the mission. Okay, so your challenge is to take the litter that you have. If the green color goes into the green box. If it is yellow color goes into the yellow box. So let's talk about how you get full points. This is considered full points, full points, full points, partial points. If it is half, partial points, partial points, partial. Same thing with this, partial points, partial, full points, full points. So if you collect all 3 litters, you get 60 points. Okay, but if you collect all 3 litters, you get a bonus of 20 points added to your points. Hello guys, welcome to mission number 6, line proof fencing. Okay, there are 2 fences that you start with. The fence can be like this or like this. That's option number 1 for start. These needs to be touching the black line, obviously. And you have a 3rd fence that you're bringing. The fence needs to be inside the red area to get full points. That's full point is 20 points. And if it is partially in, that's 5 points. Okay, that option number 2 for this one. These fences are intact, both on the black line right here. And then you bring in fence. The fence needs to be fully inside to be considered full points, partially in 5 points. So once the fence is fully inside the red area, you only get points if one of these fence is touching the black line. So this fence is outside, this is touching the black line, that's considered full point. But if both fences are out, you don't get any points. So at least one of the fences needs to be touching. Both can be touching, but if one is touching, that's considered full points. All right, guys, this is one of the additional mission. It's called Salmon Cannon. It has a salmon fish on top of it. Okay, on the dotted line, that's how it's going to attach. Right at the dotted line, and it is facing on this black line right here. Salmon is on top of it, and then robot comes in and launches the fish off the cannon. Okay, as long as the fish is inside the water, anywhere here up to the bat house, this line, anywhere in this water, so the fish can land anywhere to be considered full points. So off the cannon gives you 10 points, and when the fish lands inside the water, that's 25 points. Okay, this is considered water as well because the road is inside water. So anywhere here, full points.